I'm Brittany, and I'm blessed to be working with Habitat. I will be living in one of the quad houses. For 3 years, I'm like, God, come on, please, get us to the top of the list quick through state to get us into, just a place to be on our own. Let me get back on my feet again and feel like I'm being the best mom I can for my son and provide for him 100% fully. And it didn't happen, and I was getting discouraged. And then all of a sudden one day, this email pops up, and it's talking about Habitat. And I'm like, Habitat? I'm like, I don't really know much about Habitat. Like, I feel like everyone has heard about Habitat, but they don't really know what it's about. And so I was like, oh, I don't really know what it's all about, but sure, like, I'll just apply and we'll just see what happens. And I'm like, if this is a God thing, it's gonna happen. If it's not, it won't. And I got a phone call and it was from Sherry, and she's like, call me after church. And I was like, oh gosh, here we go. And I was like, wait, I think that they like come to you with balloons and stuff and all of this stuff and like make it a huge thing. And I'm like, oh no, I didn't get it. I wasn't accepted. And like, this just like discouragement just like fell over me. So I get in the car after church and I call her right away and I'm like, hi. And she's like, I hate doing this on the phone. And I'm like, no, we didn't get it. And she's like, you got accepted. And I'm like, what? And my son's in the back seat and he could hear through the speaker and he starts cheering, and he's a little 4-year-old, so it's super cute. And I start crying and I'm like, okay. And she's like, you have to come to the building ceremony today. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I wanted to tell you before, so like you weren't surprised there. And I was like shaking. So then I go and I tell my parents, and they're like, we're celebrating tonight and all of this stuff. And it was amazing. And so yeah, here we are. The biggest thing that I cannot wait for when I get my house is, one, just to have the keys in my hand and be like, yes, like I did it, through all this like hardship and through, the sweat and the tears that I know that I'm gonna be going through. Like, this is the end goal, and just being able to walk into my house and say that, like, this is mine and my son's house, and just having so many blessings over it. I mean, we already did blessings over the ground, and then I know that there's gonna be a ton of prayer and blessing during the build, meal times, those types of things. And so I'm just really excited just to have the keys, and then just to be able to learn how to cook, because I'm gonna have to learn. And yeah, so before Habitat, I was a very discouraged person, and I kind of feel like having Habitat happen kind of did a 360 for me. Like, I have hope again, and like I'm finally able to provide for my son the way that I've always wanted to. I think the biggest change, and it's been the most stressful thing on my mind and in my heart, is setting roots, having roots planted somewhere. That's not just, legitimate roots. I'm talking like, even with faith in God, you have to first plant and then it grows. And that's what I wanted for my son. I wanted to be able to plant us somewhere, and for him to be able to flourish and grow into an amazing man of God that I want him to become. And I think that that's gonna be the biggest change for him, is to be able to be set somewhere and planted somewhere where he gets to grow and us have roots and have amazing neighbors that I get to build with and next to, and just have an amazing community around us.